Hello and welcome to Gardening with Ben's award-winning podcast, as voted by Grow Your Own magazine and by my followers and listeners. So if you're new to the podcast, make sure you click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our podcasts, listen back to all our previous episodes, sit back, grab a brew and let's enjoy today's episode. Hello and welcome back to Gardening with Ben. Well, it's Wednesday and I can't get over this weather, what we're having at the moment in England. It's unbelievable. From being, it's meant to be winter and we're getting like double figures at this time of year. It's brilliant and I'm absolutely loving it because we've not had any bad weather really this winter whatsoever. We had a bit of snow in November, but it was only a tiny bit and it didn't last for long at all. But yeah, while ever it's like this, I am getting so much done on my allotment. It's unbelievable. Well, we've been back down there today and we've had another busy few hours down there. And it's progressing, it certainly is progressing. And what we've been doing today is I've been clearing out one of my old strawberry beds that used to hold my strawberries. I've now moved them to a different area of my plot. And the issue with this bed is that it's close to where my summer raspberries are, and what happens is that, like I've said in the past, raspberries are like weeds. If the roots get going on them, you'll find raspberries popping up everywhere, and these raspberries always take hold of this strawberry bed. So one of the reasons why I wanted to move the strawberries out of the way, really, because the raspberries were taking all the nutrition from the ground. So I've been clearing this area out, and there's lots of raspberries in it. There's a really lot of raspberries what have grown in that ground this year, and as they're new growth this year, they should fruit this year. So what I've done is I've been digging them up and I've been moving them to a new area down the other side of my plot. 'Cause down one side I've got raspberries growing all the way down the side of the plot. I get absolutely loads of them. I really do well with raspberries, and I haven't got anything growing down the other side. I planted my thornless blackberries down there the other day, but I'm filling it up with all the raspberry canes that I'm moving, because that's the thing with raspberries, they'll pop up everywhere, but they are quite easy to dig up and move to where you want them. So if you've got raspberries growing everywhere, just dig them up and line them back up and replant them. It's easy, really, and I just do that every single year. I keep doing that, and it's made a really good hedge of raspberries. And if you were to go to a shop or garden centre, you'd be paying a lot of money for raspberry canes, possibly around £6 for 4 raspberry canes or something like that. So if you've got raspberry canes popping up everywhere, just dig them up and move them. They won't hurt, and if you do it now, they'll get root and they'll get going again and hopefully fruit. And then you'll be able to continue your hedge down the other side of the plot like I'm doing. And if you do it all the way down the side of the plot, you will have absolutely loads of raspberries, and the cost of raspberries to buy in the supermarket is expensive, so it's great to get fantastic returns from the raspberry plants. And I was looking at the rhubarb prices in the supermarket the other day. Wow, that is expensive, rhubarb, and I've got 16 plants of it. So yeah, I really do get my money's worth out of my allotment. And that's where it comes from growing the fruit. The fruit pays for the allotment 10 times over. If I were to sell all my fruit, I'd pay for my allotment 10 times over. It's definitely one of the best investments you can have on the plot, and that's why I'm trying to grow a bit more fruit this year. And like I say, I've currently just planted my thornless raspberries and I've replanted my strawberries, but I'm looking at possibly getting some more blueberry bushes on my plot. I've got 2 already, but I'm wanting a few more blueberries because, again, they're expensive to buy, and they're absolutely delicious if you grow them well and get good returns from them. So I'm going to be purchasing a couple more of those to plant on the allotment. Remember, if you are growing blueberries, they need to be planted in ericaceous compost, and usually I plant them in large pots and then sink them into the ground and let them grow as they are. So yeah, it's pretty easy to grow blueberries. You just keep them watered and keep them fed, really, and they will return great fruit for you to enjoy. So we've been doing that today. And what else have we been doing? Oh, just general tidying up, really. I'm always tidying up. I've got so much to tidy. I spent half an hour, like I say, every day when I go down to the allotment. I'm going to spend half an hour in my shed, giving it a bit of a clear out. It's going to take weeks to do. It's such a mess, and it all needs repainting as well at some point, and sprucing up and making nicer, really, because it is looking a bit dilapidated inside. So we need to give it a bit of TLC at some point and make it nice again, and make it welcoming and good to filming, because I definitely need to do some more filming down at the allotment. So yeah, definitely for that. But what else are we going to be up to? I need to start getting things going. I've got a lot of sweet peas, and I did start some before Christmas, but I never potted them on. I should have done, and they went. I lost them. But I need to start some more sweet peas off. So that might be a job for tomorrow. Starting a load of sweet peas off, getting them going. I'm going to be starting them off in my flat where it's warmer, because I use my little trick to get them germinated, and that is to put a piece of kitchen roll in a Tupperware box and sprinkle them all in and spray them with water so that the kitchen roll is damp, and then I will let them germinate. I put the lid back on the Tupperware box and let them germinate, and I get literally 100% germination, mate. It's fantastic, the results that I get from them, and I know which ones have germinated, and then I can pot them on when you see that little root popping out of the pea. So that is a great way to get them to germinate. And sweet peas did fantastic on my plot the last couple of years. I've had such a great display, and I'm hoping to get the same sort of display again this year down on the plot for you all to enjoy, and to give bunches of flowers away as well, because that's the best thing about growing sweet peas, is that you can just keep cutting them, and the more you keep cutting the flowers off, the more the flowers will grow, because if you leave the flowers on, they'll go to seed and they'll stop producing the flowers. So you have to keep cutting them. You can be going down to the plot every day and picking flowers to see you all the way through summer and into autumn, and you can get some great displays. And the thing is with sweet peas is that the smell absolutely fantastic. You get a fantastic smell from them, and they will be beautiful to have in the flat or in the house. So that is what I need to get going with, and I just need to start making my lists, really, of what I want to grow and where I want to grow it, because I need to start planning now. My plot is going to be cleared by the end of February, possibly beginning of March. It'll all be ready, and then it'll be a case of starting to do any maintenance or build anything that I want to do through March, and then in April, end of March, beginning of April, I will be sowing all my seeds and getting them started. So my plan is coming together pretty well down at the site, and it's all coming on along really well. I'm getting everything done that I want to do in time, but the thing is, if we get some really bad weather and snow for a few weeks, it'll put a hold to all the tracks where I'm up to. But touch wood, it is staying on the right track at the moment, and we're getting some good results from the plot. So hopefully we're going to get a fantastic looking site this year, and you never know, I may enter for the best allotment on site. There is a competition which is run through the allotments for the best allotment on site, so I may enter. You never know. Get the inspectors round, looking around the plot and seeing what they think of all my allotment. But we'll see how we get on. It all depends on time. Again, once things start growing, it'll be a case of getting down there and getting it watered all the time and stuff like that. And obviously, work gets in the way of doing what you enjoy. So hopefully, we'll get plenty done. So tomorrow, I'll be back down at the allotment. So expect another episode on what we've been up to around at the plot, and then we will be back at work for the weekend, so there'll be episodes still carried on through then, but we'll be talking about different subjects and topics on what you need to do. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. Please do click that subscribe button if you're new to these podcasts. We have had about 20 new subscribers over the last few days, so thank you very much for those that have subscribed, and remember to give it a rating on Spotify if you're listening on there, or leave a written review on Apple Podcasts, because it does really help it get shown. And remember to keep sharing it. So thanks for listening to today's podcast. As always, remember, keep smiling, keep gardening, and keep listening to Gardening with Ben's podcasts. So thank you for listening to today's episode of Gardening with Ben. We hope that you've enjoyed this episode. Remember to do click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our podcasts. Feel free to share them on your Instagram stories so that it spreads the word about my podcast and we get lots more listeners. Feel free to check out my social media sites, Facebook and Instagram as well, Gardening with Ben, and also my YouTube channel, to stay up to date with all my handy videos, how-to videos, and sharing my tips and advice. And feel free to check the link as well in the description for my Gardening with Ben t-shirts. Lots of funny gardening design t-shirts in there for you to purchase at great prices too. So thanks again, and as always, remember, keep smiling and keep gardening.